So season 2 is on the way for Tekken 8 here, and these are some changes I would like to see done. So heat burst here, that's like one of the biggest changes I would like to see across the board. Lots of stuff with the heat burst here. So I got Brian and Jin because they're like prime offenders of having like ridiculous heat burst range. So look at this. So I got Jin. I'm trying to get to the distance of a 3. Like range 3. Yeah, so about right here. It still reaches at range 3. So that is no good. And same for Brian. Like, let's go to range 3 with him, and I'm gonna have him do what I had him recorded to do. Just ridiculous range. That needs to be toned down. If there are other characters with even further reaching heat bursts, it's just at the tip of my mind right now. There are definitely other characters, but I know these two, like, for sure need some nerfs. But I think every heat burst on the game needs to not reach that far. I'm sure most of you guys in the comments would definitely agree with me on that one. Yeah, that's too much range, and it creates some ridiculous combos, like ridiculous combo routes for both characters. They could do so many more hits than, like, you know, King or any other character really. They can have you like way over here, you know, range 3 and still get a heat burst, still get a follow-up. That's just too much. Makes the combos way too long and too much damage, too much like wall carry. You should be able to decide if you want to go for more damage or if you want to activate heat. It should be some sort of a balance with that. It should be some sort of a sacrifice, you know. But activating heat is usually going to be the most damaging route for the combo too. So I think all of that needs to change. But also, so let me set up here like a different matchup. So I'm gonna have King against Ling here. And I know you guys probably saw on Twitter there was this wrong player that just could not touch Ling. So this is a Ling thing, but it's also other characters too. It's not just her AOP. There are like certain moves that can just go under heat burst. I think that needs to go as well. So like I'm just have her do AOP into duck. Yeah, this should never be a thing. Like if you're using heat, it should never be crushed by like any AOP or like AOP duck or any of that stuff. Or any moves that have some sort of evasion for crushing under certain mid attacks. Like heat burst shouldn't be one of them. Like I think they should lower the hit boxes so that you shouldn't be able to crush under a heat burst. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that one. But yeah, it's so annoying. Like Ling Zhao Yu and so many other characters. Like Lee can do it with his 444. You know, it's a high launcher. Like they're like serious crushing like abilities for this, and it's just not, it's not cool. So I think that all heat bursts need to have like nerf range, but also not be able to get crushed by stuff. So yeah, you can actually hit someone on the low wall slump with a heat burst, but for some reason her being an AOP can just crush under this at will, which is just ridiculous, you know. So I think that they shouldn't be crushable. Yeah, like I see that she's actually stepping it. So let me get flush. Yeah, you see right there, you get flush with her. She's still able to crush it. Yeah, it's just not cool. But it's not just King, it's not just Ling again. Like it's certain moves that can just go under heat burst activations, and it just looks so goofy. I think they need to get rid of that. So that's all that I think for like heat bursts. Like make them at most hit at range. I would say like 2.5, like 2.5. Like King, for example. King has a pretty balanced range for his heat burst. Yeah, you see it hits right there, but if I go to range 3, no, it's not happening. Like even range 2.7 and stuff, it just doesn't hit from that far away. So like 2.8 here. Yeah, it shouldn't be a range 3 move that just stops everything. So let's go back to Brian. Like this is a Brian thing too. I think he also needs some nerfs with his heat burst. I forgot. I almost forgot about that. So Brian's heat burst, if he's +4, but a lot of times he could be a little bit less. But I know for sure, like back 1, you block it, it's a homing move. Yeah, but King, let me set him to block. King has now I have him set to get hit. King has some +4 moves. Believe me. Yeah. It's not homing. I don't know about sidestep left, but I know for sure you can step it to the right. Yeah, but you can't step it to the left here. But still, like, you shouldn't be able to have a homing heat burst. That's pretty crazy. Like Brian, it's not homing in neutral, but there are certain instances where it is. He has the hardest heat burst to step, and I just think it needs to be toned down. But of course there are other characters. Like tracking on heat burst shouldn't be a thing. Like I think that tracking needs to be only for like certain moves, but not heat bursts, not heat smashes. So that's another thing. Like heat smashes, I think they all need to be linear, like every single one of them on the game, because they do so much. You see, like Kings, for example, so much range. If you try to do armor, it beats armor. And yeah, you can't counter it. You can't like do a parry to stop a heat smash. They are just too strong with priority, so they shouldn't be homing or like tracking at all. That's what I think. Like the range on most of them is too much. The plus on block is too much for most of them. The reward, they trigger stage hazards. Like I think at the very least they need to be totally linear. Make it so that you have to actually mix up your like homing move or your heat smash. Make the opponent, you know, have to guess between sidewalking and looking for a heat smash or having to block a homing move. Like it needs to be some kind of a mix up here instead of just a free heat smash as soon as you get it. Like that's, yeah, I think that needs to go across the board. And for the characters that have low hitting heat smashes, same thing. They all need to be totally linear. You can't low parry a low heat smash. You'll get the crazy little glass shattering effect. Let me pick, who has one? Lily. Yeah, Lily has probably one of the best low hitting heat smashes on the game. And I'm gonna just try to block. Okay. Yeah, so look at this. Homing. She's actually following you. And I just tried to low parry. Like it does too much. And then if you block it, you see that? -8. So if you try to like punish it with a high, well, you don't even have enough distance. See, she can't block that, but she can duck that. So it's like a mix-up. Not every character can even punish it. So that's like a Lily specific thing, but like I said before, like all heat smashes need to be totally linear. They need to all have the tracking of King's 4/4 neutral too. Like I want to be able to barely sidestep and stop my sidestep and be able to get around it. Let me show you real quick. This is the tracking that I want. I want you guys to see a visual example of how I want heat smashes to track. That is not what I wanted. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, I want heat smashes to track just like that. Trying to get like the smallest step I can get. Yeah, just like that. No tracking. Yeah, all heat smashes need to track exactly like that. That's a visual example of how I want it to be done. I think that would definitely help balance the game. And it'll make people use their heat a lot more wisely. And it'll force you to have to use more moves that track that might not be as beneficial on block and on hit. Yeah, it'll be more Tekken involved, basically. So the next thing that I would like to get nerfed here are heat engagers. Obviously, like, that's going to be a touchy subject because like some characters have like super safe ones, some characters have unsafe heat engagers. Like Demon Paws, I don't know, like -9 is good, but at least you can step this move sometimes. And it's a 440 input, so it can come out a little bit slower than 16 frames. But then there are some other, like, you know, heat engagers that are just insane. You know, Clive forward 1+2, Brian's elbow, Steve's rocket launcher, stuff, you know, stuff that is just pretty much unsteppable and it's safe. And then after you block it, you know, you're still in kind of a mix-up of like, do you want to attack right away, or do they have another crazy move coming next that can stop your retaliation, you know, stuff like that. But what I wanted to talk about next is like Heat Dash. Heat Dash needs a nerf, and this is the one that I don't really care for at all. It's like this here, look at the chip damage. It's 8 normally, right? Which is a buff from when you're not in heat. So Demon Paw has 3 different chip damages. Crazy, right? So let me actually, let me just turn this off. See, 6 damage normal, 8 with heat, and if you heat dash cancel it, 18 damage. That also needs to go. I don't know if that was a glitch, like an oversight with Bamco with the balancing team, but I don't know why heat dash moves do extra damage on block. It should do 8 damage like it does anyway, like on regular heat. Yeah, you shouldn't get an extra boost of damage just for doing a heat dash. You already get +5. You don't need any more damage. Plus, if you hit them with it, you know, you get a full combo. So I don't understand why on block it needs to be, you know, 18 damage. I just think it's ridiculous that they will leave it that way. It needs to do the exact same amount it does on chip regularly. I mean, I would love chip damage to disappear completely on attacks, but I understand that's the direction that they want the game to go. So we just have to hold that, but we shouldn't have to hold, you know, extra chip damage just for a heat dash move. That's just crazy. Yeah, it's even more disgusting when you like look at Demon Paws or like you know, like Brian's elbow or the other moves that we mentioned. You know, Clive forward 1+2 doing all that chip damage, and then he heat dashes still plus, but if you get hit, you're launched full combo. Too much reward. Yeah, so I think that that needs to go as well. Yeah, that extra damage, I don't know what the extra percentage is, but it's just too much. It's just too much. They need to get rid of it. Heat moves that, whether it's a heat smash or just a regular move that can send the opponent flying so far away and still initiate a hazard, like a wall break or just a straight up wall splat. Like still, even here, like, this is still too far away. Let me have him block. I'm gonna have him to stand and approach because I don't know exactly what is the max range here. Okay. Yeah, all of that is just way too much. That's way too far. And if it's Jin, you know, Jin is on the other end. He has a heat smash that does the same thing. So all that stuff like that, far away wall splat, it's cool looking, you know, but it's just not cool. It's not fair. Like for people that are actually playing, it's just too unfair. Look at that, 92. Yeah, I'm not even doing optimal combos, but that kind of stuff is crazy. And the next thing, heat moves, I think should do way more. You see that? 2, 3, do 4 of those from a full heat gauge. That's just too much. Yeah, I think maybe 2. I think every character, like if they're gonna do a heat move, it should be similar to like Lars or like King. So let me show you. So it's like let me pick Lars here. And I'm gonna pick who's a character that's a prime offender. Like the heat, it's just like night and day difference for these characters. So look at this. He can only get 3 of them. And you see the move in question. It's the good move, but he can only do it 3 times. Most times he can only do it twice. Like if he does it here from a heat burst, you only can do 2. Then you're totally out of heat. You can't even do the heat dash from the silent entry 1. But then we got Law here. See, look at this. You can do that 3 times. The utility is like a night and day difference. This move here is a launcher. This is a full launch. And it's mid. And you can't sidestep it either. Night and day difference. So look at this. Let me, so how many you get now? You get 4 of them. Like you get 4 mid homing launchers that are safe with huge hitboxes. That is insanely cheesy. But Lars can only do his move that barely does any damage. You can actually sidestep it. You can throw him out of it, then it'll be unbreakable. It's just not much upside. You know what I mean? Like King would be a better example because Lars has like really weak heat utility. That move is really good, don't get me wrong, but I think it's balanced how many times he can do the move. But King, on the other hand, same thing. He can't do the heat enhanced moves a lot. So, like, let me do this. 1. See, he can do this 4 times. But you see, it's like 30 something frames. He just can't do it right off the bat. Like if he could just straight up do the elbow and it launched the way it does, yeah, that would be crazy. That would be like the equivalent of what Law does, except you can actually step King's elbow. Yeah, I think that they need to like take away people being able to do their enhanced heat moves 4 times. And the move is a freaking launcher that's safe and mid and homing. Yeah, that's all that stuff needs to go. Like, if you can do it 4 times, it needs to be like King, where it's like 30 something frames before he even gets the attack on. Yeah. But Law, yeah, doing that nunchuck 4 times. Oh yeah, I forgot it's a weapon, you know? So if you got like a counter, you can't even counter it. You have to have a perfect parry like Leroy or Jin to parry that move. And I could be mistaken with that, but I think I actually want to see that now. Okay, he can actually parry it. But yeah, if you got like a normal parry, not like Jin, yeah, good luck, right? But look at this. Homing. Yeah. And that's just Law. Like it's a lot of other characters that have enhanced heat moves that can just track or they do more than they should. You know, Kuma, the Bear Electric, plus on block, special mid, you know? Like, come on. Stuff like that just needs to be rebalanced totally, like totally overhauled. And lastly, like heat engagers, I think they need to do a total overhaul on those. Like, all your heat engagers don't need to be safe. Like, some of them can be unsafe. So I think King King has a really good balance with his heat engagers. See, look at that, 15 frames, and then you have like a move like this. Like, why is all this stuff safe? Yeah, -9. And the other one I think is the same. Yeah, -9. Now this move you can duck the second hit, but only if the first hit misses. But yeah, that is just crazy. And why I say King's heat engagers are fine is because look at the speed. This one here is from a power crush, but the actual follow-up doesn't power crush. So this is essentially like a 30-something frame move. Really, really slow, right? Not saying that it's a bad move. This is a godlike move. This is one of the best moves that King has, and it's one of the best moves in the entire game. We know the utility of muscle armor. It's absolutely strong, like unquestionably. But like I said, he just can't do this all day without any kind of repercussion. You can throw him out of it. You can hit him out of it with lows. This move here, like the follow-up, the actual elbow, you can stop it completely with anything. So it's balanced in a sense. Like the move itself it's been balanced pretty well. 4-2-1. You can't hit confirm this. He has to commit. So let me show you. I'm gonna delay it just 1 frame. You see? You delay it at all, you don't get the follow-up. But also, if you block it at all, you can duck the second hit. See, that's balance right there. You can kill him for doing it. He just can't do this move willy-nilly. The only move he can do willy-nilly is this move here. But then, you know, the nuance is it's 20 frames. It's 20 frames. And it does not track. Let me show you. No tracking. It's totally balanced. And the rest of his heat engagers are, you know, throws. But yeah, pedigree. Yeah, King has some pretty balanced heat engagers compared to the rest of the cast. Because he just can't do his stuff just willy-nilly. He has to set it up. He has to get a whiff punish. He has to get it guaranteed from a counter hit. You know, stuff like that. But like this shoulder just doing it, yeah. Good luck trying to hit someone with a raw heat engager like that. And if they block it, you're super minus, -9. Yoshi can punish it with flash every time. But anyways, yeah, stuff like that. I think they need to make a lot more heat engagers have more weaknesses, you know. Like Brian's elbow and the other move, like delete the tracking. If it's gonna stay safe, delete the tracking altogether. And revert back to the point of the video where I showed you guys King's 4-4 neutral 2, how it tracks. They all need to track like that. Like if I'm already stepping, you shouldn't be able to hit me with it. Like it should be totally linear. Or if I like barely step, you know, just refer back to the 4-4 neutral 2, how I want things to look with the tracking on moves. Like make it not track at all. Either direction. You just shouldn't be able to spam your heat engagers until they hit because they're just safe on block. And if they do hit, +17. If they hit where you already have heat activated, launcher. It's just crazy. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, most of them wall splat too. Wall splat, hazard, engage, or whatever. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just think like some of those stuff, like some of those things we went over with heat, they just need to be totally reworked. Again, like I said, make the heat burst uncrushable, unevadable by like low profile. Significantly reduce the range, like make the range for every heat burst like 2.3 tops. Like no range 3 heat bursts. And definitely no tracking on any heat bursts in either direction. Like they all need to be totally linear. Yeah, the moves that heat dash moves that you cancel or whatever. Hold up. The chip damage needs to go. Like I said, look at that. 18 damage, ridiculous. Yeah, that stuff gotta go. Just make it do whatever damage it's supposed to do. Like here, I think this is yeah, 8 damage. It shouldn't turn from 8 to 18 just because I do the heat dash, just because I do the launching version of it, you know? Yeah, because look at the reward. You get so much. Let me try and get this combo. Yeah. 74 damage from a safe mid launcher. That will be +5 on block. We have heat smashes if we want to be plus on block for most characters, not the ones that hit low. That's an entirely different subject. But you know what I mean. If you want to be plus, use a heat smash. But yeah, yeah, too much reward for it. Like I said at the beginning of this game's release, like people were rejoicing over raise drives being gone, but now you got heat engagers and heat dashes. So instead of just disappearing with raise drives one time per round, oh yeah, you got heat moves that you could do 4 times that are better than raise drives. Because at least raise drives you could you know, armor through them. You can at least sidestep a lot of them. You just couldn't do them like that. But this game is the complete opposite. Like, it's just crazy. But that's just what I think. I would like for this stuff to change in season 2. That way the game will be a lot more enjoyable to play. And for you guys watching, more enjoyable to watch. Hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'll see you at the next video. Peace.